Hello there. Today we are going to be doing things a little differently as opposed to the outdoor activities and beard cutting, hair cutting tutorials. We're going to be doing an oil change. Things that will be needed for this oil change on the Subaru. First, socket wrench. Not in order of importance, but yeah, socket wrench. And for the drain plug, it's going to take a 14mm socket. We have a screwdriver. This is going to be needed for, there's a plastic plate underneath that has to be removed before you get to the drain plug. So screwdriver will be utilized for that. Funnel. Oil filter. Now this isn't a factory filter, but I mean, you can get filters that aren't OEM and you will be perfectly fine. So there's that filter. STP, part number S6607XL is what is needed for a Subaru Forester, a 2017. Paper towels, because it's gonna get dirty. Now in regards to oil, we're gonna break this down. So right here I have 5W30 is the oil that I chose. Now the W, now both numbers have significance obviously, and they're in regards to viscosity. The W number, the lower the better in cooler climates. So 5W, it does go down to 0W, which would be the best for extremely cold temperatures. Being that I live in Central California right now, there's no real need for me to go any lower than 5W unless I plan on traveling to like Alaska or something. But that's not the case. Now the other number, the 30, the higher the better in warmer temperatures and hot temperatures. So I'm fine with 30 and I wouldn't really want to go any lower, especially considering that it is summertime right now. All right, now on to the oil change. Okay, so first things first, we need to pop the hood. There's the latch right here. You just pull it. Now that the hood is popped, you come around to the front and you reach right under the emblem right here. The very first little notch you can go through, you just simply push it in to the left and lift up and you're golden. Now taking a look under the hood, we're actually quite spoiled when it comes to oil changes, being that the filter is right on top, where a lot of cars it's underneath. So filter's right on top. We have the engine oil right here, and the recommendation, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it says 0W20 is what's placed on the cap for the preferred recommendations by Subaru. But we're going 5W and 30, so we're kind of going away from that. Anyways, and then, so that's that. Now over here we have the dipstick. It's always important to know where this is so you can see if your engine oil is being burnt or not, and you can always check the levels. So that's important as well. All right, now we're going to go, now that we know where everything is up here, we're going to go up underneath, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about in regards to the plastic covering. All right, I am currently under the car right now. So that's why we have this awkward angle. There's what I'm talking about as far as these screws right here. So what I already started right here, and with these screws you basically turn them a quarter and then you just pull them straight down. Super easy to get off. So I'm just going to go through and get the rest of this right here, and then I'll just simply pull this off and we will have the bolt exposed underneath. And with this we can just rotate that around and we have the drain plug exposed. What's left to do now is grab the oil pan, place it underneath, and once we take this out, we just let the oil drip into the pan. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Checking the pan. Pan's pretty much full, and we only have subtle drips coming down at this point. Now we're going to go ahead, put the drain plug back in, and head up top. Okay, the drain plug is back in. But let me go back to the drain plug. I had done some research in regards to the screws as far as unscrewing the drain plugs out and they're being ridiculously tight. It's no joke. I literally had my hand on the wrench arm and had my foot pushing against the lower part of the wrench arm to get it off, and I looked at the screw and there's definitely some form of Loctite that the dealership puts on the screws. Nonetheless, I got it off and now we're going back to the top of the hood. Okay, now back to looking under the hood. This is the easy part. You simply, I mean, a lot of people say that you need a tool to take the filter off, but you really don't. I'm not using any effort whatsoever. Just go ahead, unscrew it. Dun, dun, dun. And you are good to go. As simple as that. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace this filter. I'm not using a OEM filter. I'm using the STP S6607XL filter right here. And you just simply take this plastic off that's underneath and you go ahead and screw it right on. Done. And then right after that, I'm going to go ahead and take the engine oil cap off. And I'm going to put my 5.1 liters of oil in here. And you're going to do it gradually. You don't want to do it all at one time. And you're done. So here we go. And make sure to put some clean engine oil film around the gasket before you screw it back on top. And you just tighten it on. There we go. Now that that's back on, we're going to go ahead, grab a funnel, and start slowly putting the oil into the car. And again, as in regards to the oil, I'm using 5W30. And in addition to this, I'm going to go over to the dipstick and I'm going to make sure that the levels are coming up. Okay, so that's 4.73 liters. This engine takes 5.1, so I'm gonna grab another quart and just top it off after I've started the engine, just to see where the levels are at. And then we're good to go. Very easy. Just like that, we are done. It wasn't too bad aside from getting the drain plug off, but after that first time, it won't be as difficult as it was before, unless you take it back to a dealership. So that was how I changed my oil on my 2017 Subaru Forester. I hope this helps you out. If you do have a Subaru, I'm sure it definitely helps out if you're wondering how to do it. And I mean, any other car for that matter, the steps are generally the same. It's just the placement's gonna be a little different. If you liked the video, if it helped you out, please give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe. And yeah, off to the races. Peace.